about half of them are going to go into the Pennsylvania National Guard. The other half are going to go off to other places around the country. We have one cadet getting into Pepperdine. We have several going to Syracuse. But one thing we've worked on the past few years is trying to make Pennsylvania their destination, recognizing the benefits of serving in the Guard, the benefits of staying in Pennsylvania with what's available here. And I know none of us are close enough to retirement yet, but Pennsylvania is one of the best places to retire in terms of taxes. And so we got to get them thinking, we got to get our students thinking in those terms, what's available to them. But let me back up for just a second and just say, I mean, part of what the ECP program is, it's an ROTC program. The students come here. It was created in the Vietnam era to help streamline and push commissioning for officers to free up other officers to go to fight in Vietnam. It was meant to reinforce both the National Guard and the reserves. It exists only at the military junior colleges. There are 4 now around the country. One of those is Valley Forge. They do a traditional ROTC program, except it's accelerated. So they will go out to Fort Knox and do their basic camp, they will do their advanced camp, and they do all of that in 2 years. And they will graduate from us with an associate's degree, and then go on to get their bachelor's degree, at which time then they'll do BOLC and be available for full duty, for deployment. Part of what we've been looking to do with the National Guard in building our partnerships is not just creating access for those students. We use Indiantown Gap. We had the Guard has sent several helicopters to come and take the cadets out to their training. They took myself, our President Colonel Helgeson, the President of Eastern, on a tour of our campuses 2 weeks ago. Our PMS, our Professor of Military Science, set that up as a thank you for the partnerships that we built. And so we appreciate that. We appreciate the Guard for making that available to us. But one of the things that we've developed in the past year is a new element of the Educational Assistance Program. So I mentioned that we're able to turn out officers in 2 years. This is something that the Guard wanted to take better advantage of. We also wanted to take advantage of that point that I started with, saying that it sounds like only 50% of our cadets will stay here upon graduation. That had been a lower number. We want to increase that number, and working with the National Guard, we created the Military College of Pennsylvania Educational Assistance Program. We worked with Bob Mensch to create that program, passed it through the legislature. The governor signed it last year, and what that will do is it creates 10 scholarships that, out of existing EAP money, that will allow active guardsmen or new guardsmen to come to Valley Forge and get their training here. They will graduate, they'll serve in the National Guard for a specified period of time, and they'll go on to Pennsylvania schools. So it's a partnership with the Apache schools. So from here, they'll go on to Apache schools, and after 8 years of service, I think they'll find that Pennsylvania is a great place to be, and they'll stay with us. So the Guard is a great partner. They've continued to be a great partner. Pengus has been a great advocate in helping build these partnerships, and that's why we're here today. So happy to encourage that. Our I guess keynote, and the person that's going to kick us off and really tell us more about the value of the Guard and that relationship with Pengus is Brigadier General Weigel. She's been to Valley Forge several times. She's spoken to our cadets. She's a great resource, and I will hand off the mic to her.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. There's a few friendly faces that I know and a few faces that I've not met yet before. My name is Maureen Weigel. I have the best job in the Commonwealth. I get to be the Deputy Adjutant General for Veteran Affairs, which is a long title for the State Director of Veteran Affairs. So retired Army, and now I get to serve and continue serving our veterans. This is really important that we meet. I know there's not a lot of huge people here and tons, but these little tiny steps to bring people together to talk is extremely important. The biggest problem veterans face when they leave active duty, believe it or not, yes, there are mental health issues, there's PTSD, there's employment issues, there's homeless and housing insecurity, but it's awareness. It's awareness. Many people don't even know my office exists. 200,000 veterans leave active duty. When they come back to Pennsylvania, they don't know that our office exists. They don't know that every county has a veteran coordinator to help them. They don't realize that the VA runs the healthcare programs and the state runs the nursing homes and all of the outreach programs. So it's really letting veterans know. And so how do we do that? Steps like this, all of us talking so that you're aware, so that you know how to help veterans. And we also work with Active Duty and Department of Defense. There's a few new initiatives that they're working on to make it easier when they transition, but sadly we're not there yet. So that's something that's why we're here together. That's why we have PA Vet Connect, which I'll talk to in a minute. So in my job, I don't have all the resources to take care of all the veterans, but I will tell you there is not a lack of resources for the veterans in the Commonwealth. And in most states, that is a true story. So I work with the county directors. We train all of the county service officers that help veterans get their local resources, do their claims and benefits, to help them get their, potentially VA disability claims, any other benefits they may be entitled to, help them find employment. So if you are in a community and you don't know your county office, that's where people walk into the door and say, what's available? So if you haven't made a contact to them and you're trying to hire people or you have services, I would ask you to build that relationship. The American Legions, VFWs, AMVETS, Marine Corps Leagues, etc., all of those service organizations are wonderful. They do so many great things for our veterans across the Commonwealth. You'll see them running all the parades, attending events, going to high schools, going to so many events to put information out there. And they also have service officers that can help veterans. And then in Pennsylvania, we have two unique things. We have a governor's advisory for veteran services, which means I work with Department of Health, Human Services, Aging, etc. Every secretary, met with all of them yesterday to figure out how we can help veterans. So specifically, we have a committee for aging. Pennsylvania is the 4th largest demographic of veterans, but we have the oldest number of veterans. As a matter of fact, this year, our number has declined. So we are decreasing the amount of veterans in Pennsylvania, holding on at number 4, but those southern states where it's a little warmer and people want to move south are starting to beat us. Plus, they have all the active duty installations, right? We have no active duty feeder installation here other than Valley Forge, DLA, and spouses. We're one rare, wonderful program is if the veteran and their spouse need to stay together, we house both of them. That's allowed. If a spouse veteran passed away, they can still come to our nursing homes. Benefit of that, if you're paying for skilled nursing, which many of our older veterans are, it's $20,000 a month. Probably in this area, $30,000 a month for skilled nursing. So if you're in our nursing homes, it's free if you're 70% or more disability rating from the VA. That's a huge deal. Right now I have a waiting list at 5 of my homes. 1 does not, but we have the opportunity. Those waiting lists turn really quickly. So please let us, that's sharing information. There's too many people that don't know how to take care. There's too many older caregivers who can't take care of their spouses and don't know, again, that we're here for them. So we have one on aging. We have one obviously on homelessness and suicide, right? Those are 2 big issues. You're all probably aware anywhere between 17 and 22 veterans commit suicide a day, depending on the statistics. It has decreased, but that's still too many, and we all have issues in every state with that. Addressing the Vietnam era veterans still are our largest numbers that have problems, and the kids recently transitioning off active duty having problems. Those are our 2 demographic of veterans most in need. Homelessness is a big issue. Housing insecurity, this area in particular, is very expensive, and folks even that have jobs have problems. I have a lieutenant colonel in the National Guard, found out was living out of a vehicle and he's an MDay, used to be an AGR. I mean, it's not just privates and sergeants and Vietnam era veterans. They are folks that have jobs and can't keep and sustain their quality of life and their housing, and that's a big issue. Philadelphia is my biggest issue area for that. So thankful for people like Dana Spain, who yesterday opened Veterans Village downtown in Philadelphia. Free housing for veterans, 1 and 2, 3-bedroom apartments, amazing. We have a committee for women. Homelessness and suicide, big issues. Females might be the smallest demographic, but it's the fastest growing. And sadly, percentage-wise, females have a higher percentage rate of suicide and housing insecurity. So that's a big issue. They don't have a lot of equitable resources through the VA for women's health, so we're working on that. There's a lot of things we're trying to lean forward. And again, just making sure females and single moms, that's a big issue, know how to get resources. They shouldn't have to lose their housing or worry about feeding their children if they're serving. So there's so many opportunities for us to take care of them. Why you're all here, one of my favorite ones is employment and education. That's been our passion. So 200,000 service members leave active duty every year. We want them to come back here to Pennsylvania. They're not coming to Pennsylvania. We have a lot of employment opportunities, great partners, so many people that can help them, but why aren't they coming back? They don't know, right? So I can't go to an active duty installation where they're getting their transition briefs and tell them all the great things Pennsylvania has. We're trying to. So what I'm doing is telling employers to sign up for DoD SkillBridge, connect with 4Block, work with people like Greencastle, work with Career Links. Those programs are impressive and they work. I had UPMC sign up about 9 months ago into DoD SkillBridge. They hired 30 people already coming back. So if you don't know what DoD SkillBridge is, everybody knows what it is. If you're an employer, you can have a veteran or service member coming off active duty work for you from 6 to 4 months while Department of Defense is still paying for them. So it's almost like you're getting a free intern. What we want to do is make sure they come back into those positions and then they stay, right? So it's a really big deal. The folks that are taking advantage of it love the program. So if you didn't know about it and you're out talking to communities and employers, besides going to the PennGas job fair and the Career Links and putting your positions out on Indeed, be proactive and get the guys coming off active duty. They want to come to PA and it's a great opportunity. Judicial, we work really closely, so I'm glad to see law enforcement here. We have 25 veteran courts that are amazing. Philadelphia started one of the first ones with Judge Dugan. Those programs really help us identify the unique needs and issues that veterans have and make sure that we take care of them before sending them to a state correction institute. We have 5 veteran service units at our correction institutes. It's important because we want to make sure veterans leaving the prison system can have a job, have a place to live, and to make sure that they don't get back into the cycle. So we've cut down on the recidivism, and it's a big deal. They're very successful programs where we have one right here in SCI Phoenix. There is a female one up in SCI Muncie, but we do a lot with those programs because it's important that they can be contributing tax-paying citizens again and show the strength and value of veterans and service members. So without concentrating on the bad, as you know, there's so many great strengths that veterans have. We're really trying to be on a proactive, positive message across the Commonwealth, highlighting the great things like Valley Forge and what they're teaching their cadets that are going to be working for the Guard and Reserves and hopefully being in employment. In Pittsburgh, they have an entire program on corporate community leadership for military. So they're teaching corporations and communities how the value strengths that military veterans have can build up communities. So not just hiring them, but getting them involved, getting them on your school boards, getting them involved in local politics, getting them involved in all the community building. It's a great model if you want more information on that. I know it's right in Allegheny County. They're the only ones I know doing that, but it's a great model that we can, share. So that's why I get out and I share best practices. I love that you're all together. I'm not going to stick around all day. If you know me, you can always reach out. I'm available. I do come to events. I talk all the time. Any topic I could talk 20 minutes on. I don't want to hold you up. I do appreciate what you're doing. Thank you for coming here and learning more. Thank you for PennGas for always inviting us. And I have my cards before I leave. If anyone does not know me, I'm happy to share that. And I take ideas. I don't profess to know everything. So if you're doing something great, you want me to share it across the Commonwealth, I talk to all 67 counties, the commissioners, the mayors. Let me know and I'll share that information. So thank you. Any questions before I leave? You guys are easy today. Thank you. And thanks for hosting.
Sure. Thank you for that.
That's
I love these events because I always learn something. So, thank you, General.
You're welcome.
So next, I would like to introduce Joe Page from CCA.
Good morning, everyone. It's never great when a captain has to follow a general. It's usually, met with berating and so on, did this back brief long, but nonetheless, I'm Captain Page. I'm a current service member of the Pennsylvania Army National Guard, going on my 14th year this year. I work as the Director of Special Projects for Commonwealth Charter Academy. We are a public cyber charter school. So that means we utilize taxpayer basis. There's no additional fees that parents or any other individuals have to pay for our students to attend. We are currently serving as the second largest school district in Pennsylvania. And as General Weigel indicated, she mentioned all the opportunities, resources, and things that she's actively doing. We're on the flip side. We're currently in our co-analysis phase of, if you think about your MDMP, and we're trying to devise how we can start to market or provide that awareness of those opportunities and things that everyone in this room is currently doing. We serve 24,200 families, and with those 24,200 families, all of these services that we provide for our students, we also offer for our caretakers, parents. We just recently received 2 awards from ESGR. This past year, we received the 7 Seals Award and the Patriot Award, and we've also been nominated for the Freedom Award. We are strong advocates of sponsoring PennGas each year. Throughout this, our military committee, we actually have a specialized committee that focuses on how we can support our families. Of those 24,000 students, we currently have about 350 families that have been identified as current service members, children of service members, spouses, or even current serving and veterans, essentially. But without belaboring this too much, reason why I'm here today is just to provide different opportunities and to partner with everyone. We have our dedicated marketing team, so if you're looking for awareness, how you can brand this, get them out from a different avenue, whether it's working with family services. These are things that we're trying to devise right now as we move forward with the Purple Star initiative that Pennsylvania Department of Ed pushed out, where we're now at the secondary level providing this information, outlets, resources to our families, and it's not funneled in from external entities. Other things that make us unique, we're working with Kelly and Strategic Lewis right now to take that 300 student families and turn it into 600, and then maybe the next year turn it into 900. So where General Weigel indicated, bringing families back to Pennsylvania, making them feel more, significant and special and, family focused. That's what we're really trying to embrace and do on our side. It's not just the academics we care about. We care about their career pathways, their graduation, but also those who aren't actually just enrolled with us, their external families. How can we support them as well? So thank you once again. I do have to leave. There's an education event over at Fort Indiantown Gap, and since I'm currently the only military liaison for CCA, we're looking to build that by an additional 2. I've got a pop smoke, so I will hopefully see all of you. I left a few cards back at the table. Please take them, reach out to me, and anything I can do to support you or get the word out. Thanks again. Take care.
The next speaker joining us today is Chief Master Sergeant Jenny Pappas. Is she here? She is not here. Veronica Laurentano. Welcome.
All right, good morning. And again, I'm Veronica Laurentano with the Soldier Family Readiness Program with Pennsylvania National Guard. The Soldier Family Readiness Program provides comprehensive support to National Guard soldiers and their families on a variety of topics, such as financial assistance, employment, education, benefits, whatever the need may be. Our program is intended to provide support and assist, whatever the need may be. We're the Guard's entry point for assistance and readiness needs. We're geographically dispersed we're located regionally across the state to better assist soldiers and families who are geographically dispersed. Our services are confidential, and really our goal is to empower families with information and support to truly enable resilient families at home and allow soldiers to stay mission focused. But yeah.
Thank you very much. Mr. Whitney. Peter Whitney is joining us from the Cohen Clinic.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Pete Whitney. I work for the Cohen Clinic. Thanks, Shelley, for having me out again. Thanks, Mr. Smith. Nice meeting you this morning. And a lot of you guys know about our clinic. We've been open for about just short of 7 years. We've served over 3,000 vets and their families with no-cost mental health care. We have a post 9/11 focus. We will see pre 9/11 vets if they don't have insurance. The idea of that is, you know, as some of us have talked, it's kind of like triage. We're trying to get people upstream. Everybody doesn't see the same specialist. So just to get it out of the way, we tend to not treat homeless, and we tend to not treat people who are heavily addicted to drugs, because our program, it's pretty intense. It's once a week. We have a little bit of homework. And if you're worried about where you're going to live or where your next high is going to come from, we're probably not the best fit. We do have a care coordination team. So if you do send somebody that might be struggling with one of those issues, we'll help them out. We'll refer them to the right people, because this is such a great community. But really, one of the things I'm most proud of is that we have such low barriers to care otherwise. We see families. The way that we define families is what the veteran says the family is. So that could be your brother or sister. It could be your aunt and uncle that took care of your kids. It's what family means to you. So it's not your traditional spouse, you know, DD-214, who's got a Deers card. It's what you say your family is. The other part is, and it was pretty tough for me. I'm a lifer. I just retired like a month before I started working here almost 2 years ago. And they said, yeah, we see dishonorable discharges. I'm like, dishonorable discharges, really? And then I started going through the Rolodex of some of my deployments and some of the people I was stationed with. They weren't necessarily bad people. They just had a bad day. Or they might have been on too many deployments, like one guy that I was stationed with. He was one of the best staff sergeants I've ever worked with. But he got hooked on opioids because of the painkillers he was on. We're there for those people too. So along with that, if you're just struggling, if you know somebody that's struggling, before they get down the road and they get to the point where we can't take care of them, where they have to be inpatient, send them to us. There's no copay. We don't bill insurance. We have literally no mechanism to do it. As great as the VA is, we can't even become part of their community care program to get reimbursed, because we don't have an insurance to bill. So that's just one more great thing and a reduced barrier to care. Does anybody here have any questions about the Cohen Network, or the Cohen Clinic at Penn?
Okay, when are you going to come by to the community college and visit us again?
Oh, yeah, it's great seeing you again. You tell me when. All right, we'll work on something next week, but it's great seeing you again. So yeah, great seeing everybody. Thanks again for having us out. If you have any questions, my card's back there, some pamphlets, take as much as you want, because I got plenty of them. Thanks again.
Again, as I mentioned, always learning something new, and the great thing about these events is the networking. In higher education, you just pointed out, mental health is a huge issue. I mean, we see it doubly because so many of our students are actively serving. Part of the early commissioning program is that they're simultaneous members of either the Guard or the Reserve. So they are serving soldiers while they're here, and these issues come up. So this is a great opportunity, great resource. So appreciate you being here to share that with us. Next, I'm going to introduce Chanel Santiago. Thank you. She is from the Norristown Vet Center.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. So while we were talking about mental health, we're going to stay on that for a second. Vet centers are also part of the VA. We are a unique part of the VA. We call ourselves the redheaded stepchildren of the VA because we're so different. We are community-based. We are not in medical centers. We will never be in a VA medical center. We were started by Vietnam vets because they didn't have a safe place to talk about their issues. So initially in 1979, we started as a peer-to-peer type support place for Vietnam veterans to go and feel comfortable about talking about their experiences. We have now expanded to all eras of combat and also military sexual trauma. So one, with the combat piece, if you have any questions about whether the person served in combat or not, we just say reach out to us. We usually ask for a copy of the DD-214. We can figure it out pretty quickly. But when it comes to combat, that can mean boots on the ground, it can mean out to sea, medical capacity, whether they were in Germany, Kuwait, anywhere. Also the Graves Registry, which in our case is out of Dover. So any of that fits the bill as combat. And it can mean Panama, Lebanon, big wars, small conflicts, we really don't care. That's an option for them. Military sexual trauma, it can be reported, unreported, male, female, harassment, assault, or both. And similar to Cohen, we also accept the families. And once again, it's whoever the veteran deems as family. So if that Vietnam vet says, my neighbor is my brother, we will take the neighbor as his brother. We really don't ask any questions. We do see children at times. It depends on the circumstance with the veteran and their family. So we do accept children as well. Some of the things that makes us a little bit different from the VA hospitals is, one, we have non-traditional hours. So some vet centers have evening hours, some of us have weekend hours, and the piece about the family. Also, we accept any type of discharges as well. So Cohen Clinic and vet centers have that in common as well. Does anybody have any questions so far? No? Okay. So as far as the services are concerned, when it comes to the family, they do not have to be seen together in a couple setting. We get that question a lot. It can be done in a couple setting, or the veteran can see a counselor and then the family member can see a different counselor. It's really up to them how they want to do that. A veteran can stay with us for as long or as short as they need to. We don't have a 12-month, 18-month type of time frame for them. We have vets that have been with us since the beginning. In 2009 when they opened in Norristown, and they're still with us and their family's still with us. So we do not put an expiration date on the services. Also, if a veteran feels like, I'm good, I don't need the vet center anymore, they leave us 2 years later. COVID happened, which brought in a lot of our vets because of the isolation piece. We took them back. Also with COVID, we did not stop our services. We immediately switched to virtual. We do have some vets that are still doing virtual services, and some were ready to run back in the door, which is great for us because we were ready to see them. We do host events. We're gonna have a welcome home ceremony for our Vietnam vets that they don't know about yet, but it's gonna happen next week. It's kind of a pop-up type thing. So we try to keep things rolling. We do stuff for the families. We have a barbecue that we're bringing back finally, I think in July. We had to rent out a park to do this because we want them to encourage them to bring all of their family, kids, and just have a good time. So we do try to be that face in the community for our veterans where they feel safe and they can also get their mental health taken care of. I am also an Army vet. I'm a combat vet. So I understand the needs, and it's just a great experience, a great place to work, and a great place for care. Any other questions or anything? Perfect. Thank you so much, and may the 4th be with you, because I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
But now, what will you celebrate tomorrow? Revenge of the 5th or Cinco de Mayo?
Well, might be a little mix of both, depending on where you are.
Thank you so much. Our next speaker from the U.S. Family Health Plan is Tammy Cartan.
Sorry, boss called a meeting and it's like, hey guys, you know, try to explain, but no. Hi y'all. As he said, I'm Tammy Cartagena. I hate a mic, so I'm standing over here and speaking. You all can hear me in the background, I'm sure, right? Yes, ma'am. How you doing? Anyway, U.S. Family Health Plan is a TRICARE Prime option. What this means, what is TRICARE? First of all, let's explain. You have the VA. The VA is great. Anybody who serves in their country does more than 6 months of active duty in a war zone. You know, they're eligible for VA benefits. TRICARE is a DoD option where service members have to either be in the military currently or serve more than 20 years or be medically retired to get TRICARE eligibility. As we used to say when I was in the VA and we did the training, all you have to do is call and ask because you don't know if you're eligible, right? Not everybody knows. So what does this mean for an employer? What this means for an employer, if the person has VA benefits or TRICARE benefits, it could really, really help offset the cost of health care for the company. My company, I work for U.S. Family Health Plan. We're a TRICARE Prime option located in these areas. There's Martins Point that takes care of the rest of Pennsylvania, but Humana is the other option for this area. For TRICARE benefits. But what does this mean again for the company is that if a service member has TRICARE, can use their TRICARE benefits, then it won't cost you as much. As my company paid for my health care until I was eligible at age 60, yes, I'm 60 years old, I know I don't look it, but my company paid for my benefits. My boss told me that if I would have went for TRICARE Retired Reserve, which is $600 a month, it would have still been cheaper than what they were paying for my health care from themselves, all right? They didn't make me pay a whole heck of a lot out of my pocket, but the company pays a lot of money for your health care benefits. So if you hire a veteran, and we say that, you know, I was part of ESGR, by the way, congratulations on your award. If you say to a veteran, you want to hire a veteran, there are other great things that they come with. Traditional guardsmen have TRICARE Reserve Select. Retirees can get TRICARE Prime or TRICARE Select. Family members of service members can get TRICARE benefits as well. Dependents, not family members, but you know, dependents up to 21, 23 if they're in college can get TRICARE benefits. So seriously, you hire a service member, ask. And those that are veterans attending school here are eligible as well. I know there's some counselors I met that were eligible. So I have Deers Access, just give us a call, and my cards are in the back. All right, any questions on TRICARE? No? Cool, okay.
Thank you very much. Next up is Hank Gillen from St. Joe's.
Good morning, everyone. Hank Gillen, Army veteran and Director of Veteran Services at St. Joseph's University. For those of you who don't know, we are located with two campuses, one which straddles City of Philadelphia and suburban Montgomery County, and there's our newly added campus down in University City in Philadelphia. We are pleased to work with Pingus to promote living, learning, working, and playing in southeastern Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is a great place for veterans, and we at St. Joe's work hard to help that whole perspective. So we would love to encourage military-affiliated students to either continue or complete their education with us at St. Joe's. We are a military-friendly gold school. We are considered one of the best for veterans colleges according to U.S. News, and we are a Pennsylvania National Guard Association's guard-friendly university as well. We have approximately 200 military-affiliated students on campus, and that includes veterans as well as currently serving service members, be they active duty, National Guard or Reserve, and also family members who are affiliated with veterans who are transferring their education benefits. Those education benefits, of course, could be the GI Bill and federal tuition assistance and benefit programs, or Pennsylvania's already mentioned education assistance program and the military family education program, which should really be a reason to live, work, learn, and play here in Pennsylvania for a transitioning service member. So the programs, we have over 200 programs to choose from at St. Joe's from our 4 colleges, the College of Arts and Sciences, the Irvin K. Howe School of Business, the School of Education and Human Development, and the School of Health Professions. In addition to the education opportunities that St. Joseph's offers, we also, for the benefit of veterans and transitioning service members, and as well as citizen soldiers who operate their own businesses, we offer entrepreneurship training for veterans. Our Entrepreneurship Bootcamp for Veterans program that we run every year has graduated over 200 veteran small business owners, as well as we partner with the Small Business Administration in a program called the Community Navigator Pilot Program. So veteran small business owners have access to training, counseling, and resources to help them succeed in business. So as I said, thanks to Pingus for the invitation to be here, and we wholly support the mission of bringing more veterans to the area. Thank you.
I know St. Joe's has been a great partner for Valley Forge. We have one of our students going across town to work with your Air Force ROTC.
Absolutely, that's 750.
Yeah. So, and even though I went to Villanova, you have a special place in my heart because my dad, who was a vet, went to St. Joe's and you guys took care of him. So, thanks for being here. Our next guest is Chris Lewis from Community College of Philadelphia.
I have a guest too.
I'm his bodyguard.
Okay.
I'll introduce myself. For those that don't know me, my name is Steve Beethoven. I'm the Veterans Resource Coordinator at Community College of Philadelphia. Chris brought me along, I guess, just for color, maybe. But I've worked closely with Pingus in the past, and this past semester, I did a little deep dive into the National Guard members that we have at Community College. There seems to be a lack of either experience with their education benefits and or their status, their veteran status, especially those who have served or mobilized in the past year or so. So Community College has started a new program where we're trying to get a bridge between the skills training, sort of like the skill bridge that the general was talking about before, and the academics, okay? Most of our veterans that have come to Community College are junior enlisted, although we do have officers that after they retire want to learn cooking, art, whatever. So we're a very diverse community, and I'm going to let Chris do the rest of the talking because he's much better at this than I am. He's a recruiter.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for having us. I'm Chris Lewis. I'm the director of our CTE and short-term career training programs at Community College. Community College is we've been serving Philadelphians and folks in the surrounding counties for over 40 years. With quality training and education at a very low cost. We're scattered throughout the city of Philadelphia. We have multiple locations. We have over 70 different degree and certificate programs. Some of the four-year schools are in here. We have many partnerships with some of the four-year schools, which we term as dual admissions. So similar to getting an associate's degree and then transferring on and furthering your education at a four-year institution. We currently have about 15 or so with local four-year partnerships, with also some expanded partnerships throughout the state of Pennsylvania. So what Steve mentioned too also is we've expanded our footprint, especially in the manufacturing and training areas. We just opened a new facility in West Philadelphia, right on the corner of 48th and Market, So right in the heart of West Philadelphia, it's called our Career Advanced Technical Training Center. And in there, we're offering some manufacturing programs, welding, CNC machinery, some of the programs where there are growing opportunities. And some of these programs are, short-term training programs, but we also offer associate degree programs in there too. We have a very large transportation program. We just added or will be starting a medium and heavy truck diesel engine technician program this fall too. So again, we offer a variety of different programs. And so we work with Steve's office. Generally, if we get veterans that come in and say, hey, I want to study this and study that, we'll work with them on getting them set up for their educational experience and then hand them off to our veterans office to make sure that they are, getting, all of the benefits and resources that they've earned, by serving our country. So again, community college, where, we've always been a leader, again, in training and, providing educational opportunities, especially, again, at a low cost, because, some college tuitions today can be very expensive. So, so if anybody has any questions, again, we have some information about all of our programs, but especially our new facility back here on the table, and I would be, open to answering any questions. And thank you again for having us.
Don't forget to tell your National Guard members to reapply for EAP by the end of June. Most of them don't realize that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Our next speaker will be Jaleese Golson from Downingtown Area School District. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Jaleese Golson, Downingtown Area School District. Just come in and talk to you today. Well, first, thank you. Thank you all for for welcoming us. We're a little bit on the other side of things. I'm not in the military or former military, but I'm here to talk about the benefits of working in public service in education. A lot of us think about just teachers and people who are in the classroom, but there are other opportunities for those who are serving or who are retired from military to also give as a public servant in education. We offer employment within the fields of technology, maintenance, custodial, finance. There's all a variety of ways that people can serve their community and support our students who are upcoming. Downingtown serves about 13,000 students. We have about 3,000 employees. We're ranked in the top 10 of public education schools in Pennsylvania, and we're happy to welcome all of diverse backgrounds, the military servers and their families to Downingtown, and welcome them into our community of serving students. I'll leave some information on the back table, like everyone else, and happy to talk to anyone about future opportunities to connect and share the benefits of working in education. Thank you.
Our next speaker will be Corporal James from the PA State Police.
Good morning. My colleagues and I were expecting a career job fair. However, we're willing. I'm Corporal James with the State Police. I'm from the Recruitment Services section. We just want to say we thank you for inviting us, and we're willing and able to work with all and every company out here. However, we have certain standards. We're currently hiring, and the application period closes July 31st. With that being said, we love military veterans because it's a great transition from the military to the state police. As you know, the state police is a paramilitary organization, but we have certain standards. So you have to apply at the age of 20. You can enter the academy at 21, and you have to have 60 college credits in anything. A lot of the military men and women, sometimes they don't have that 60 college credits, so we offer certain waivers. If you have 2 years active military, they would waive 30 college credits. So you would need 4 years active military to waive all 60 college credits. And The academy is in Hershey, Pennsylvania. It's a 28-week program, and once you graduate, you're on the street with 2 different coaches. Now, for a lot of the men and women, law enforcement has been having a tough time. Like the military, recruitment is down, so we're pulling straws from everywhere. But a lot of men and women, they don't want to do police work, they don't want to be in front of a camera, they don't want to do domestic incidents, crashes on the highways. So we also do offer what is called the Bureau of Liquor Control, and that division is completely different from the Pennsylvania State Police, although it's housed under the same organization. So I'm going to let Officer Davis explain the Bureau of Liquor Control.
Good morning, everybody. I'm a supervisor for the State Police Liquor Enforcement. I'm a training and recruitment coordinator. Pretty much like Corporal James stated, that liquor enforcement is an undercover/uniform division under the state police, where we pretty much deal with all liquor laws throughout the whole state. So pretty much what we do is we enforce all the liquor laws, any bars, nightclubs, beer distributors. Also, we do college and sporting events. So like when we go to the college parties, we deal with the underage drinkers, making sure that, hey, if you're underage, you can't consume alcohol. We also go to the sporting events, Eagles games, the Phillies games, and work the parking lot areas. To make sure underage drinking, and adults also, because sometimes some people say, hey, well, I'm over 21, you can't do nothing to me. If you have too much alcohol, you can't get in trouble. And that's what we're trying to prevent. We want people to have a good time down there. So we are looking for people. We have no age cutoff. You do have to be 20 years of age to fill out the application, 21 to go into the academy, but we don't have an age cutoff. So if you're 35 or 37, 40 years old, even 45, we will take you. We are looking for people.
Also, we offer military veterans, when they take the test, they get 10 veterans preference points. They would have to submit their DD-214s. And they also can purchase back up to 5 years of active military towards retirement. So you can basically do a 20-year career and get a 25-year pension if you have 5 years of active military duty. And the pension is actually one of the best in the country. There's no job I know of right now that after 25 years of service, you retire at 75% of your highest 1 year with full medical for life. And most people also don't know that Pennsylvania State Troopers must retire at age 60, so they kick you out at 60. That's why it's written in legislation that you have to get to the academy before 40, mandatory retirement 60, so you're at least guaranteed a 20-year career. And with 20 years of service, you go away with 50% of your highest 1 year with full medical for life. Yep. Thank you very much. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Mr. White from Bunker Labs is here. Oh, welcome Jimmy White from Bunker Labs.
It's exciting to be here and to see so many faces. A new title to add to me. I am a new ambassador for the Bunker Labs program here in the greater Philadelphia area. Chanel's laughing because I'm also a veteran mentor with the Travis Manning Foundation. I'm also a George W. Bush Presidential Scholar. I'm also a speaker for the Military Veterans and Journalism program, and a couple more titles that I won't bring up here today. But I got a question for you. How many people in the last 6 months have utilized the services of a veteran-owned business? By raising hands. Of those hands that were raised, how many of those were National Guard persons? That's the problem. And that's what we want to help change with Bunker Lab. Bunker Lab is a veteran service organization that provides a community cohort-based setup for veteran and military spouses to start their businesses. We're really looking for those early starters, those that have at the ideation phase and then ready to move on to actual legalization and then profitability. We have an amazing program called the Veterans and Residents Program, cohort-based program where you apply, You then become part of this community that helps support you and give you the resources you need to make your business successful and profitable. We have another program called the CEO Circle, which is geared towards more senior executives and CEOs of larger businesses. But we have this really cool program that's just started called the Breaking Barriers Program. So if you have anyone that is military connected that is a minority, this is a really cool cohort program specifically tailored towards them. And last but not least, we really want you to connect with Bunker Labs. We really want this to be a community-based system where we support one another to really amplify veteran businesses in the Pennsylvania area, because veteran businesses matter. Thanks, guys.
Also here to talk to us about veteran-owned businesses is Jeremy Strathmere.
Hi, everybody. My name's Jeremy Strathmore. I'm the Vice President of Client Engagement for Greencastle Consulting. We are a implementation consulting firm based out of Malvern, so about 15 minutes from here. What makes us unique is we have about 120 employees, and every single employee is a veteran. So that is all we hire. So you have to be a veteran in order to work for our company. And our core clientele are Fortune 500 companies, and what we do is we implement critical initiatives that our clients need done in a very militaristic way, right? So we go in and we figure things out. We get processes and projects and change management done for our clients. So what we use as our main tool for recruitment is SkillBridge. So the SkillBridge program, which you've heard a few times over the course of the last 45 minutes to an hour, we bring folks off of active duty, their last 3 to 6 months of their current contract, and we transition them into our company and we teach them. We give them certifications, PMP, CCMP, Lean Six Sigma Black Belt, different things like that that they'll benefit from once they come out of the military and come into the civilian world. What we generally do is probably about 95 to 99% of the time we offer them a job. So when they're done through the program and they come off of active duty, we will employ them and we will place them onto one of our clients. And if it's something they want to do for the rest of their lives, they stay with us. If they don't, we help place them into a company that they might want to continue working for that's outside of what we do. So if they come in, they're like, I don't really like project management, for instance. I'd rather be an accountant somewhere. Well, we'll help them find a job at an accounting firm, right? So. But again, what makes us unique is the fact that we only employ veterans, and we have a very big footprint within the Pennsylvania National Guard. I retired last year after 28 years in the PA Army National Guard, so I was very proud of that service. We do hire a lot of PA guardsmen and women. We're very proud of that. So if you have any questions, let me know. I have some trifolds on the back table as well as my business card. Reach out if you ever need anything.
And next, I'd like to introduce Stephanie Kilroy of the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Bureau Board.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. To shift gears a little bit and talk about play. That's what I was asked to do. I am Stephanie Kilroy. I work for the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board. We are a non-for-profit sales and marketing organization that brings tourism into Montgomery County and Valley Forge. And we're very thrilled to welcome the 2023 National Guard Association to the Valley Forge Casino Resort in October. So Montgomery County is home to over 80 hotels, over 1,600 restaurants. We are home to the Valley Forge Historical National Park. We have the King of Prussia Mall, which is one of the largest malls in the country. We are home to the Elmwood Park Zoo. We have the Audubon, James John Audubon Center, and we are home to many trails for biking and hiking. My personal job is to bring conventions into the area, so we do a lot of military reunions. So I've learned a lot here today, and I think that it is going to help bring military reunions to the area and help them out as well. I have visitors guides on the table. If anyone has any questions about Montgomery County or tourism or hotels or restaurants or anything to do with fun and play, please feel free to ask. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Next is Cade Pollock. He is with FirstNet AT&T. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. First of all, I just wanted to thank all active military and veterans for your service to our country. I'm just coming here to talk about the FirstNet program that we have with AT&T. I'll keep it short. I'm sure many of you have heard of it before. What FirstNet is it's a network built off of AT&T in contract with the U.S. government to make a reliable network for all U.S. National Guard, military, Air National Guard, as well as all our first responders here in the U.S. So that's going to be fire, EMT, paramedics, as well as our police force. So what this is it's just a network built specifically for these people to be on so that they're not going to be losing connection in times of emergencies. So I just wanted to tell you guys about the network. If you guys have any questions about it, I do have the pricing information right on the table back there. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Next is Rhonda Falber.
I think it's still morning. So good morning, everyone. My name is Rhonda Falber. I am the chairperson of Pennsylvania National Guard Associations. So first and foremost, I want to thank everyone for carving a little bit of time out of our very busy schedules to come and to hear what everyone else has to offer. The biggest benefit, it may look like a little small group here and you're thinking, what's this? The military has a word, force multiplier, and that's what you all are. You may be talking to someone who has a little issue, but you heard something in this room today that is going to enable you to point them towards a resource or a benefit. And if each one of you can only help one person, we've done a great job today. So thank you for coming, sharing what you do and what opportunities you provide. We have these events hoping to expand everyone's knowledge. Let me take a second. First of all, I'm an Air Force vet. I'm one of the old vets that General Weigel was talking about. First, I want to tell you, I know you know PennGas as a word, but our primary mission is legislative. We help ensure that the Pennsylvania National Guard is fully funded, manned, equipped, and trained to perform their state and federal missions. Also, to ensure that members and veterans have benefits that they have earned. So, you all have heard many different benefits today, some that I wasn't aware of. General Weigel had commented in her speech earlier that one of her biggest obstacles is awareness. I served 28 years. I retired out of state headquarters down the hall from her office. It wasn't until I was at an event 2 weeks ago that she spoke at that I found out that I am one of those individuals that qualifies for free nursing home care. And if that wasn't a good thing to hear, my daughters are ecstatic because now they don't have to worry about finding mom a good home that they can afford. So it's events like these that we find out just these little nuggets, extra pieces to a great puzzle. Now I'll get back on script. I tend to wander. Our goal was to bring together these organizations and leaders to improve recruiting and retention and to strengthen our connections that benefit the entire community, not just veterans. We want our vets to improve the quality of the community, to improve the workforce, and then we also want that community giving back to the vets. So we all work together to make it a better environment. To reiterate numbers that General Waggle pointed out, each year 200,000 vets are leaving active duty, whether through retirement or end of their commitment. We want them to come back here. We want Pennsylvania to be the go-to place, not just Pennsylvanians. We want them from other states to go, you know what, Pennsylvania's a good place to head to next. So it's by doing all of this that we get the word out and get people to want to come back to Pennsylvania, as well as keeping our high school, our college, our grad school grads here in Pennsylvania. We don't want them migrating out of the state either. Our goal is to highlight and showcase Pennsylvania's regional economies. We have these events in different sections of the state. What Philadelphia wants or needs is different from what Erie wants or needs. So we kind of segment them. What's important is we all play a role in these endeavors to make Pennsylvania a great place to live, learn, work, and play. We are able to facilitate these events because of our corporate partnerships. In order to keep our corporate partners happy, we hope to have great attendance at our different events. One of our next upcoming events is a Pennsylvania National Guard Association virtual job fair on the 18th of July. It's free for every job seeker. Does not need to be a veteran. If your neighbor's nephew's girlfriend needs a job, point her in this direction. And it's very low cost for every employer who joins the job fair. We have several other events coming up over the summer and the fall. I'm not going to give you a calendar because you're going to walk out and be like, what's that? They can all be found by going to our website, pengas.org. Our big event, which I handed out a card, and there's more in the back. I encourage you to grab a couple, hand them out in the lunchroom, put one in the mailbox for your mailman. It's our annual state conference and military trade show. It will be October 27, 28, right here in your backyard at Valley Forge Casino and Conference Center. We're real excited about venturing out. We've stayed in Central PA for a lot of years, so I'm excited that we've been able to branch out to a new section of the state. You've got a card, but you can also follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn. If you have questions for us, you can email us at pengas@pengas.org. We make it really difficult for that. But again, I just want to say thank you so much for coming and sharing what you do for vets, and I want to thank you for doing what you do for the veteran community. As a vet, it's very important for me to see how much support there is out in the community for us. So personally, from Rhonda, I thank you for all that you do. Do you have any questions for me today? Because I'd be happy to invent an answer for you. All right, thank you for your time and your attention. I give it back to Dr. Smith.
And our final speaker is Mr. Robert Irvin, also with Pengas.
I'd like to thank you again for showing up. my perspective in the Guard is how I came into the Guard. So rather than being somebody that was recruited, trained, and started out as a second lieutenant or as a private entering the Guard, I came in mid-career. So it would be great, part of getting everybody here together and the Live, Work, and Play initiative is to get our thoughts and collective thoughts and orientation together to put information out in the transition assistance offices across the Army and the Air Force to get people interested in Pennsylvania and wanting to transition in. The benefit to the National Guard is that you don't pay for the basic training, you don't pay for the officer education, you get them mid-career, and it's a way of enhancing our Guard with mid-career people. It's not a complete substitute, but it can help mitigate the challenges we have in retaining qualified individuals in the Pennsylvania Guard. So it'd be great if this organization could, we take this and try to work out collectively means of getting the information of all the great things we do in all the different regions of the state to get people to come in to Pennsylvania, choose Pennsylvania not just as a veteran, but also to increase the size of our National Guard, which encourages the PENGAS mission. All right, thank you.
Thank you everyone for attending today. Thank you everyone for speaking. I think we heard a lot of great resources. As I said, I always learn something. I think we've all learned something, and I think this will be a force multiplier. I wanted to end with two things. One is just the value of these events and of working with PENGAS. Valley Forge said two very important developments. One is with Bloomsburg University. Went to a conference several years ago, ran into, I shouldn't say ran, was part of an educational roundtable at PENGAS and met with Bloomsburg, and they're one of our partners that have been really great for our students and worked with Guard members and with veterans to keep students in Pennsylvania, providing the services they need, providing the connections they need. One of the problems we see that I'm sure St. Joe's has seen is the difficulty that veterans have when they have an organization like any branch of the military that is on top of them 24/7, and suddenly they separate and you go to this educational institution, which is a huge educational institution which isn't necessarily paying attention. And that's where offices like Veterans Affairs offices at CCP come into play and are necessary and valuable. And we've seen that at Bloomsburg, and we learned about that through PENGAS. But they've been great for our students. Another is DeSales. They were with us last week. We had a national security conference here. They partnered with us on that. We engaged with them through PENGAS. And I've spoken with some of you, hoping we can work together. That is that force multiplier. And the final thing I want to say is we heard a lot today, and I just mentioned about how we can be resources to the veterans, but I don't want us to forget that they're a resource themselves. We see that at Valley Forge. Sure, Greencastle sees that. I mean, they bring a great host of skills, teamwork, leadership, engagement to the jobs that they take after they separate. We see that with our veterans that are here, and I just want to celebrate that, celebrate what they bring to the workforce. So anything anybody wants to say as we close up?
Oh, where was that again? You said you met these people and made great connections?
At the PENGAS annual conference. It's a great networking event. I'm not a paid advertiser. All right, well, thank you all for coming. There are some refreshments. Please get, and please feel free to